like me and Nick have known each other for years, man. Like when he lived here in Tampa, we would train together sometimes.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the good lighting joke as well as who is going to be fighting for that third spot at this upcoming Mr. Olympia. That is probably going to trend all the way till this year's Mr. Olympia. Now, Nick Walker and Derek Lisford aren't exactly taking any names, but we all know what this is all about. And these indirect punches, they are looking so smooth. And I for one am so loving this. So I have a question for all of you guys. As a bodybuilding fan in 2024, what did you guys want to see? Did you guys want to see some trash talk, some banter between all these competitors, especially the top guys? Especially the guys who are going to be fighting for the top spot? Or did you guys want to see some romance? And the reason I'm asking this is because if I look at the comment section under Derek's latest YouTube video, people are getting kinda mad for stating a fact that Nick and Samson are going to be fighting for third spot. And they're asking him to stay humble. Now, on the other hand, the same people would bash all of these guys if they are political with their answers. Then they say these guys are too soft, too mellow, and whatnot. And this is why I have to add this clip of Derek Linsford explaining his friendship with Nick Walker as well as Samson, and the fact that they have been busting each other's balls for some time now.
Relationship with someone, I like to troll them or joke or banter. Sometimes not a ton, but like with Nick, I do it more than anyone probably. So it was just funny, like being there and hanging out and having a good time training. We did a lot of promotional stuff for the Olympia coming up.
And both these guys love to push each other around, especially when they are training together in the gym. Now, I do have to say, I don't know if it's a good thing that Derek actually had to explain it to the fans, because it wasn't that big of a deal, but still he had to do it. So do you guys know why was the Mr. Olympia 2015 the best and the most exciting Olympia of the last decade or so? It was because both Kai Green and Philid fans, they got so involved in that fight that they literally disliked each other, and even the fans hated their opponent. Now maybe that much polarization between the fans at that time wasn't a good thing, but now that both these guys have retired, we look back and see the battle and perceive it as one of the greatest rivalry ever, especially in the last 10 or 20 years or so. And it was actually so good for the sport. It sold tickets, and it brought so much excitement and so much engagement for the sport. Now, I for one fail to understand what it was that Derek said that made some of the fans so offended. It was simply three competitors, and not only just competitors, but they're actually friends as well, just going at each other. Some like banter, pushing each other around, and I believe that was actually pretty good for the sport. So cannot wait for this year's Mr. Olympia, because everyone is going to be so improved, and now that everyone is chasing Derek, we will see how he handles that pressure. So up until right now, he has done everything possible to improve, and this is what he needs to do if he wants to retain his title. And that is not my opinion. That's the opinion of majority of the bodybuilding experts out there, that if Derek is able to come and improve, he is going to be extremely hard to beat. Another day, another update of Keone Pearson, as he gets closer and closer to defending his 212 title for the very first time in his career. So it is gonna get real between him and Shaun Clarida, because both of them are looking extremely confident now that we are less than 18 weeks out of the show, and now that both these guys have started their preps. But I 100% believe that Keone is gonna be just different this year. He had a completely uninterrupted off-season, and this was the first time in his entire career that he had an entire year to focus on just one show, to have a proper off-season, which by the way, according to him, went extremely well this time. And I really think we are going to see some significant improvements in Keone's physique in almost every area, especially in his back shots, because that was one area where he needed the most work. And we have to keep in mind, he was already beating almost all of these guys in the front shots, and he was even able to beat Shaun Clarida in the side shots as well. The back double bicep was the one shot where Keone needed to work on the most, and expect him to be very impressive from the back as well this time. So can anyone really beat Keone Pearson if he brings his A game? Well, in that regard, I have to say, with the direction of bodybuilding right now and the way it's headed, where we have so many streamlined physiques ruling every bodybuilding division, the aesthetic guys are taking over. They're having a small waist and a tight midsection. That has become really important. I do think it is gonna be extremely hard for anyone to beat Keone, especially if he is at his 100%.
and then Samson didn't want to take his shirt off. But then when Samson's sitting there like a mild-mannered guy, and then he just decided to take his shirt off. He said, "We'll show you how we do it in the UK." And he looked goddamn monstrous, dude. I'm telling you.
But here.
So Chris Cormier was getting those top 3 guys, Derek, Nick, and Samson Dauda, to that workout at the Battle of Mr. Olympia Showdown. He was so impressed with the size that Samson Dauda has. And why won't he? Samson right now is on his way to 330 pounds. And still he is so lean at that kind of body weight. That is just unprecedented, and that is just nuts. So people can say whatever they want to say about Samson, having a thick skin, or not being as conditioned as Hadi Chopin, for instance. But I think all of us have to agree that man is blessed with some of the greatest genetics, especially when it comes to putting on size, while staying extremely lean. And almost everyone in the pro ranks, even at the top level, they have some weaknesses. Because the thing is, if a bodybuilder has everything, he becomes elite. That is why he was able to win 7 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles. So coming back to Samson Dauda. So the judges were extremely satisfied with his look at the Arnold Classic UK. But at the same time, they told him they want to see him even more shredded than that. Which means Samson has to go through a lot of suffering in order to get that look that the judges want to see on him. And also the kind of look that the fans want to see on him. Now, whether that's even possible for him or not, that is a separate debate. So Kevin Levrone, the 90s legend, he's famous for doing only fish diet, especially in the last few weeks of his contest prep. It's obviously one of the hardest things to do in bodybuilding, but the fact is that is gonna get you bone shredded for sure. So, 18 more weeks till this year's Mr. Olympia. Samson is still growing, and we just can't wait to see him move to Kuwait, which by the way he's gonna do by the end of this month. And then it will be just pure grind, all the way till this year's Mr. Olympia.
Samson
like
looked
that.
like a fucking monster, though. I gotta tell you this.
Oh,
Damn,
he
that
was
dude is
so
big.
big.
Silverback. Yeah.
When
That
he
dude
took
was
his
big.
shirt off,
And
he
you
was
know
so
what?
big, and it didn't look like that.
And I saw his back, and I was like, he's not fat.
No.
That dude
No,
is not fat.
at all.
So guess how much Florian Poirson weighs in these latest progress pictures. The man is 291 pounds. And that was just too fast. I mean, he just switched from the classic physique to men's open a few weeks ago. And even he himself did not expect that he would get so heavy so fast, with only just a few weeks of eating as an open bodybuilder. But then again, when you are depriving your body from enough food for years and years to stay within the classic physique weight limit, when you are restricting yourself so much, it's probably gonna rebound like that. So the great thing now is that we might see Florian compete this year as well, because he isn't gonna push his weight any further. In fact, he is gonna slowly try to lose some of his weight for the next 8 weeks or so, and from there onwards, he's gonna look for his next show. So we as fans keep going back to that look that he brought to the stage with Patrick Tour back at Portugal Pro 2019, which was also his pro debut, where he placed 4th behind 2 Olympians, Ian Valier and Mohamed Shaban, and he was actually able to beat Samson Dauda at that show. So I really wish he could have stayed in the men's open bodybuilding and utilized all these years to make sure he gets bigger and his back is as good as he is from the front. Because even at that time when he made his pro debut, he looked absolutely mind-blowing from the front. And many of us forget that he won his pro card just one day before that show. So Florian has amazing quads, deep lines, very small tapering waist. So hopefully he comes back to the men's open bodybuilding with a bang, because this physique definitely belongs in the men's open. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.